Hi, everybody. Welcome to Magic Universe. Let's do a mid May 2020 pick a card reading. Mid May because I feel like your energies may have shifted from the beginning of May. And so let's check in with Spirit to see what they have to say now. Like, what are they guiding you toward now? Anyway, before we start, I want to give you guys a short update on my telepathy experience. In my last video, I talked about how I experienced telepathy, and I posted that in the wee hours of yesterday morning, early yesterday morning. And I'll link it in the description box below if you haven't watched it yet. But anyway, in that video, I said that I can hear physical voices in my head, but not continuously, right? Just like a word or a phrase here and there. Well, last night, I was hearing all sorts of voices. And it started with a woman's voice repeating a question over and over again in my sleep until I came to enough consciousness to recognize what she was saying. And she was asking me, "Are you feeling all right? Are you feeling all right?" And she was saying it just like that, right? And it just repeated and repeated, and then I kind of came to, and I'm like, oh, and I understood the question, and so two thoughts came to my mind. One was, no, I'm not feeling all right. And what happened was, like, I had been mulling over something last night before I went to bed, and I went to bed in that energy. And then the second thought that I had was, oh, she's one of my spirit guides. And she's making me aware that I'm in an energy that I don't want to perpetuate. And she's telling me to shift out of it. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then, so anyway, I fell back asleep, and then I dreamt and dreamt. And in the dreams, I was hearing all sorts of voices. I was hearing like the news, I was hearing Abraham, I was hearing other people. Like, there was just like a lot of talking. I mean, my clairaudience was turned up high. And I woke up this morning and I was like, well, that's what I get for making a video about telepathy, you know? It's like you focus on a subject and you just open that door right up. So, yeah, that was an interesting experience. But anyway, that's my little update. And yeah, if you're interested in a psychic tarot reading from me, you can get it from my website, magicuniverse.co. That's .co. Okay, let's start the mid-May 2020 spiritual guidance pick a card reading. So here you have three piles of cards to choose from. Group 1 is vibrating at pink. Group 2 is vibrating at orange, and group 3 is vibrating at sky blue with some midnight blue hovering on the top right there. So you can choose your reading by the color that you feel that you're vibrating at right now, or you can choose by the card piles themselves. And the timestamps will be in the description box below. And I will start with group 1. Hi, group 1. If you chose the soft light pink, this is your reading. So the first card that came out was Red Garden. And it was funny because when I was checking your color, the color that the group is vibrating at, it was kind of shifty. Like, it went from red to pink, and then I was just like really distracted, and I had to go away and come back and then like reset the color again, just to make sure that I'm reading you guys right. And so it's funny that the first card that came out is Red Garden, and it has all of those colors that I was seeing that you guys vibrating at. But you eventually settled on the pink, so that's why I chose pink to represent you guys. And so the Red Garden card, I kind of see like this girl, she's walking through this garden and she's new there, you know. She has her little I think, is that a parrot or a parakeet? Her little bird friend on her shoulder, and she's new there at the garden, and she's just looking around, and she's a little bit hesitant, but at the same time it's like a new surrounding. It's fresh, it's creative. And I feel like with this card, your spirit is calling you to go explore. And explore meaning like exploring your creativity, like try something new and be more open to it and less hesitant to trying new things. And this goes along with the tarot cards that I'm going to get into later that talks about like boredom and being stuck. So spirit is really calling you to really open your eyes to new things, like maybe see things in a different perspective. Like if you look at the card, she has like a strip or like a stripe of pink over just her eyes. And that's like seeing things with a different color. Like even if you're looking at the same thing, you're seeing it new in a different way and finding creativity in it. Finding, have you ever seen maybe like in a video or just, somewhere where people take mundane, ordinary things and they create amazing artwork out of it? Or I'm reminded of this one video that I saw when I was researching how to film videos, and this one guy, he had this really funny idea. I mean, it was hilarious, but it worked. Like if you don't have money to buy expensive camera equipment, you can try this. Like if you need your camera shot to pan across something, he basically just put his camera on a towel and he pulled the towel along to create movement. But it worked. He showed the footage that showed up from how he was filming that way, and it looks fine. It looks like he used something fancy, but he didn't. It was just a camera on top of a towel that he pulled on the floor. And it's totally hilarious. But something like that, like looking at so I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna assume or guess or that perhaps wherever you are, group one, that you're still in quarantine, because the tarot cards kind of look like it is like that, where you're in a place where well, we'll just look at the tarot cards now. So the Four of Cups there right underneath the red garden, that guy is like bored, and here's spirit in a as a cloud coming along and say, hey, you want to come take a look at this new fresh thing? And the guy's like ignoring spirit and just like, I've been staring at these same three cups for a long, long time. I'm stuck on an island by myself. I'm like completely bored and discontent, right? And that same kind of idea is repeated in the Hangman, which is the third card over on the second row. And Hangman talks about suspension, like you're tied up, you're just hanging there. There's nothing you can do, you're kind of stuck in that situation. And then same thing with the devil. It's like you're chained up, and so with the other two cards, Temperance, the second card on both rows, the Ma'at, Justice, has a scale which is about balance, and then Temperance has the angel pouring with the two cups, which is also about balance. And so basically this whole reading, spirit is telling you to or calling you to look at your situation in a different way and see new possibilities, where even if you're looking at the same stuff, that there's still creativity there, even if you're not stuck in quarantine anymore. I mean, this is still your message, is that look at whatever you've been looking at and maybe being bored by, or just unhappy with, like not content with something. Look at it with fresh eyes. Balance out your emotions between looking at something. I'm not seeing that you really, really hate something. I'm just seeing that you're just kind of blah, you know, like bored. Yeah, like blah, like not really interested and not really interested in anything. And so with the two balance cards with justice and temperance, it's calling you to balance out that emotion and find interest in it. And same thing with like the hangman being upside down. You're looking at the world from a different perspective. You're looking at everything upside down, you know. And so you have like three cards there that's talking about balance, and then the red garden, like I said, was talking about like exploration and looking at something new in a new way, and just feeling more refreshed about whatever situation that you're in. And really, the devil card at the end there, it's being chained up, but I see it as being chained up to the same thoughts that run through your head over and over again, like seeing something in the same way again and again, versus being able to break out of that chain and being able to see it in a new light. So spirit is calling you to just begin to gently, bring yourself out of that funk of boredom, and balance that energy out. They're showing me fresh water, drinking fresh water, and also fresh air. Opening a window, if you can't be outside, but if you can be outside, be outside. Just exploring new territory, even if it's the same territory. So, say if you are still in quarantine, go out into your neighborhood. I mean, I bet you haven't walked as much as as you had, like there's new things to discover about your neighborhood, even though like you've been in that neighborhood, and yeah, there's this place by where I live. I mean, it's not that close by, but this is like before quarantine. Like I used to go there, and like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks or stuff. And every time I went through that neighborhood, that place with my friend, we were able to point out new things that we had never noticed before, even though we'd been there many, many, many times. And we're like, is that new, or did we just never notice it? And I think we just never noticed it. And so we're always seeing new things. And another example that comes up for me personally is that sometimes there'll be a song that becomes really popular, and I'll hear it and I'll be like, it's all right. But then after the trend passes, and the popularity of the song, like they don't play it as much on the radio anymore. Like after a little while, if I hear it again and it jumps up, or it shows up, I'll hear the song and it's like I'm hearing it with new ears, and I'm like, what is this song about? And I'll look up the lyrics and I'll look up, the artist, and all of a sudden I'll be obsessed or fascinated with this song that I had heard before and wasn't really like that impressed by. But then all of a sudden it'll become like my new favorite song, even though it'd been around. And so that happens to me a lot. And I think this is that kind of energy that your spirit wants you to open yourself up to, just open your mind to just allow your current reality to be fresh and to be new, and to see it in a new way, and to balance out whatever kind of blah or like this kind of stale, stagnant energy, and to balance that out with more freshness, with more fresh air, fresh water, fresh ideas, fresh creativity. All right. So that is your reading for mid-May 2020 spiritual guidance. Okay. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hi, group 2. If you pick the orange color, this is your reading. So group 2, when I was picking your color, you're like, I'm orange. And like, you're orange. And there's just like a lot of happy, fun, confident energy. It was palpable. It was really nice. And so I was not surprised when the first card came out, and it was the Six of Wands. And look, the card's orange. And look, there's three cards that's orange, and the one card that's not orange is blue. It's like the complementary color. So I was like, well, this is really nice. And so the energy of the top row, well, the energy of the whole spread is actually really good. So the Six of Wands just talks about success, achievement, like that little mouse in with his shoes with the wings on it, flying high, and having a lot of fun, and just being really confident in whatever it is that you're doing. There's a lot of achievement energy, and it's like leaping over your problems. I feel like that's something, just overcoming obstacles, overcoming impossibilities and making it possible. And not only possible, but like very manageable and very doable, and just being able to see over limits, any limits that other people had placed on it, or that had been placed on whatever it was. You're able to see above it and be able to see possibilities. So the energy is just like very super creative and very open. And then in the Judgment card, that's just like source energy, or spirit, or your higher self, whatever you want to call it, smiling down on you, you know, and you feeling like, I've climbed up this mountain, the little mouse. I've climbed up this mountain. I've reached, these heights. And now, well, I don't think it's and now. I think all along the guidance has been inside you. You felt it in your heart and you just followed it, and you got all the way up to the mountain, the peak of the mountain. And now it's like you're beyond the clouds, and there's clarity, and source is smiling down on you. And now you see that you had been following your heart all along, and it was the right move. It was the right thing to do. And now that there's nothing between you and source are connected, you and your spirit are one. And yeah, it is such a good, there's like nothing between you and your spirit. And it's, there's no, I don't see you looking back on anything that you've gone through or overcome. It's more like now you're just looking up, and you're just seeing that everything is right, and you're in the right place. So that's really awesome. And then to the Queen of Wands. Okay, so now I'm looking at the rest of the spread. The Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands. I feel like the Page of Wands is like the underlying energy. So say you pick this group and you're like, well, I'm not really at that level of success yet. You're on your way there. I'm reading like your I don't want to call it future energy, because this is not like predictive or anything, but this is the momentum that you're at. And I'm seeing that your energy, as you continue on, this will be what you're creating. So if you're not yet at that place of success, then just know that at at if you continue to follow, if you hear an inkling in your heart, oh my gosh, I'm just looking down and seeing that one of your oracle cards is Voyage of the Heart. I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like when I was reading the Judgment card, I wasn't even paying attention to the Voyage of the Heart card, but that was exactly that energy that I was seeing. Where if you follow that inkling inside your heart, and you feel the trueness of it inside you, you will get to that place that I was just reading about with the Six of Wands and the Judgment. and the Queen of Wands. I was just going to talk about Queen of Wands just now. But what I'm saying is like, say you're, because the page is more at like a beginner place, and the queen is at the queen place, meaning like you can work from page and level up to be a queen. So say you're still at maybe like student level or like a beginner level, or you're just starting out. The road ahead of you, you can be a queen, like that that if that is your goal place to be, like you can be the star, you can be the confidence, the success, the achievement, like everything that I was talking about in the Six of Wands card, the flying high, seeing above and beyond the obstacles and the limits and stuff like that. So this reading is about the journey, the voyage of the heart, the journey through which, when you follow your inspiration and follow that inkling inside your heart where you feel like that is your truth, this is the voyage is you follow that love, that inner love, and you follow that intuition. And the journey itself, it's going to be so high vibration and so enjoyable, like all of it, so confident, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at this little is that a cricket or a grasshopper? I don't know, the page of wands. I'm gonna think it's a cricket because of Jiminy Cricket. But he's like dancing and he's having a really good time, and it's like that's how you want to have your journey, as you go along your journey, to just really, really have a good time and just follow that inner calling and reach your goal of becoming the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is amazing. So when Trapped in Fear came out, I was like, well, that energy does not match the rest of this reading at all. I wonder what that's about. But I kept looking at the sunlight that's coming through at the upper left corner, and how like the window is just, it's all window, it's all glass, right? And I feel like either you've already overcome this place of feeling stuck, or that say you are still physically stuck, but you're not emotional, you're no longer emotionally stuck. Because I feel like emotionally and energetically, you're in a very happy, fun place. So, say wherever you are, if you're still in quarantine, that even if you're physically limited by the government, or by whatever circumstances, that you're not able to be as free as usual, but I feel like mentally and emotionally you're already out of that place, that you're beyond that kind of energy already. And yeah, I don't even see you there at all. I just see like that sunlight coming in, and you being able to see beyond the physical situation that you're in. So, and you're either you're I want to say you're on the journey. I mean, we're always on the journey. I mean, even if you reach a goal, you're still on the journey, because you're still alive, you're still continuing on, right? So it's a continual, infinite journey. And I just see you having a lot of fun and really following through and being able to hear yourself, and like the more you hear your inner self, the clearer that voice becomes, and you achieving and creating great things. So that is awesome. And I'm only reading mid-May, but I feel like this is more than just mid-May. I feel like this is like beyond that. But that's amazing that this message came in or came out at this time for you. Okay. Wow, this feels really great. I'm so happy for you. Okay. So, this is your mid-May 2020, I think, and also and beyond reading group two. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, group three. If you pick the sky blue to kind of like a midnight blue color, this reading is for you. And I saw that sky blue color is your goal color. Like that's the energy that you want to be at. But right now it's more, not that it's more at midnight blue, but there is midnight blue over that sky blue right now. Okay. So, your tarot cards that came out. So I feel like the Four of Wands, which is stability and celebration and like happy home and family and all of that. I feel like that is your sky blue color. That's your goal color, your goal vibration that you want to be at. Whereas currently you're not yet at that energy, but that's like your focus. That's where you want to go to. With the Hermit card, I feel like the bear is looking at the light and going, okay, I know I want to be there. It's kind of like looking at your goal and looking at the energy that you want to be at and says, I know this is the way to go and I know I should follow this light and be here. But it's about like taking that action to actually do it. And almost being in a place of not resistance so much, but like just kind of like looking at what knowing, looking at where you want to go and just saying to yourself, okay, I need to get there. It's kind of like, I don't know, like the bear's in a cold place with all the snow and everything, and it's almost like looking at the feeling like the journey is hard, or like feeling like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take effort to, I have to do something in order to get to where I need to go. You know what I mean? Like it's not just, oh, I'm there, or oh, it's so easy, it's so fun. There's almost like an effort that you have to make in order to get to where you need to be. And the Two of Pentacles is talking about making that choice. There's actually two cards here that talks about making that choice. One of them is the Two of Pentacles, and then the other one is the Oracle card, the first Oracle card that showed up, that says beneficial beliefs feel better when I think them. And you see how there's the light that's in the forehead, and then there's the light that's in the hand, that little vortex of light. So those look like those two pentacles, right, in the other card. So I'm going to read the back of this card. There are things in your environment that you believe that match what you want. And there are all kinds of things in your environment that you believe that defy what you want. How would you ever sort them out? How do you know the active beliefs within you that serve you well and the active beliefs that do not serve you well? How do you know the beneficial beliefs from the detrimental ones? The beneficial beliefs feel better when you think them. The detrimental ones feel worse when you think them. So this is kind of like, how do you discern between what is a belief that serves you and what doesn't serve you? And this is a Abraham card, Abraham Hicks. So what they're saying is that when you think something and it feels better, then that thought is serving you. When you're thinking something and that thought feels worse, then that's not serving you. Like if you go back into that hermit landscape where the bear's looking at the light or turning away from the light, like it'll feel worse if he turned away from the light and didn't follow the light. It's better if he'll feel better turning towards the light. And so same thing like with your goal, with the Four of Wands goal, if you're thinking a thought that moves you towards that goal, it'll feel better. And then it'll guide you to action that will bring you towards your goal, closer to your goal. Versus if you start thinking a thought like, oh, I can't do it. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, it's too much effort. Oh, it's too cold in the snow. Like those kind of thoughts that it turns you away from your goal and it feels worse, right? Like, so you can use that guidance of your emotion in order to know, is this thought serving me? Is this thought not serving me? So that's what that's about. Like, with the Two of Pentacles, and then also the beneficial beliefs card with those two little, circular pentacle looking things. It's about that choice, like choosing to go towards, move your energy and your beliefs and your thoughts towards achieving what you want, towards that sky blue color that I was talking about. Or are you going to choose, say, if your physical reality that you're living right now is not nowhere near, is nowhere near that goal, or there's just a lot of hardship, or maybe a lot of conflict, which shows up in the Five of Wands with the five frogs, and each of them kind of disorganized, and you kind of don't know if they're fighting or they're trying to build something. They're just, it's just five different frogs going five different ways, right? And so that conflict, that internal or external conflict, like, do you choose thoughts that point you in the conflict direction, or do you choose thoughts that point you towards reaching your goal direction, right? And so the last card, Great Adventure, take a risk, venture forward, is actually telling you to view your journey, view your life as an adventure. Instead of, like in that Hermit card, how I was seeing how the bear knows which direction to go, towards the light, but then just feels like, oh, it's so much effort to go in that direction. Instead of viewing it as effort, and change your belief about it, change your belief and view it as a great adventure. When you go on a great adventure, you kind of have to do a lot of preparation and do a lot of stuff, but then it's all worth it, right? Because you get to have a lot of fun, you get to experience a lot and explore, and just expand your life in all different ways by going on an adventure. Versus if you just said, oh, it's too much trouble to go on this adventure, and then you just never do it, then you just kind of stay in that conflict, energy, and it doesn't happen. But for you guys, I don't see that it's not going to happen. I see that it is going to happen, but it's just a matter of you looking at your goal and looking at your light, and viewing it in a different way, viewing it and as an adventure, and viewing it as something that you want and that you're willing to venture forward and experience. And it's so Abraham in their beneficial beliefs card is just saying this isn't. It becomes easier as you practice it to think beneficial beliefs, think thoughts and think beliefs that feel good to you, feel better to you, and just, be more aware of your emotions, and then just deliberately choose and decide that, yeah, I want to feel better. I want to think thoughts that feel better. And then that will slowly guide you towards what you want. And it doesn't have to be slow, but I just see that this method of changing your beliefs will be gentle, and it won't be that much of an effort, like the effort that you're making is a mental effort and it's not like physical hardship. And that's why I called it slow, but it doesn't have to be slow. I just meant that it's gentle, that it's not like a struggle to go towards your goal. It's like a gentle way of doing it. So yeah, I do see you reaching your goal, and just changing your belief and thinking of it as an adventure versus like a struggle or an effort. So awesome. Then this is your reading, group 3, for mid-May 2020. Good luck with everything. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.